What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. Welcome to episode 253 of Shadows and Pretties. And today we're going to do another Muppet movie. Well, this movie came out in 1999, and this movie is called Muppets from Space. So this one came out on July 14th of 1999. And of course, this is actually a bit of a science fiction related stuff in there, like some science really related stuff in this movie. So I thought I would go ahead and, review this Muppet movie from 1999. I have not watched this movie in like ages. I mean, I was a kid when I first watched it. And I really got to say, it's a science fiction comedy, which is pretty neat. And it was directed by Tim Hill. So, of course, this was the last theatrically released Muppet film to be produced by, well, the Jim Henson Company before the franchise was then bought by the Walt Disney Company. So, anyways, I guess with that being the case and that being said, this was the last film written by Jula prior to his death in 2000 5. So, this is actually a pretty good movie, and I definitely got to really say there's definitely pretty good casts. Like, for example, we got Jerry Nelson, we also have Frank Oz. We do also have lots of other puppeteers. So with Treasure Island, with veteran pup performer Frank Oz, was unavailable for most of the shootings from Muppets from Space due to scheduling conflicts with his directing career. As a result, his characters were performed on set by other Muppet performers. Oz later, looping his voice over the post production prior to filming. Of course, some other people performed his characters, with Lynn's performing Miss Piggy, Boyd performing Animal, and Kennedy performing Sam Eagle and Fozzie Bear. So Kennedy and Lynn's voices can be heard in the film's theatrical trailer. The filming began in November of 1998 in the Green Gem Studios in Wilmington, North Carolina. So this would be the first film mark of first appearance of Scooter since the park theme park attraction Muppet Vision 3D. So his voice was performed by the Muppets from Space from Adam Hunt and the brother of Scooter's intentional performer Richard Hunt. So I mean, I really like the music in it. It's pretty well made in detail. This movie was released on VHS in 1999 as pretty much as well as well, as well as the DVD was released eventually later on. So, I mean, it was a pretty good movie. I personally really enjoyed the movie. So, I guess I'm going to go ahead and, explain what the plot about it is about for any of you guys who are, wondering about this movie. In case for any of you guys who haven't seen this movie in a really long time and probably would want a refresher. So, anyways, with that being said, let's get going with this movie. So, anyways, this movie, I'm going to also say right now, I'm going to be spoiling about this movie. So, if you guys have not seen it, it's best that you click off this video now and go watch another of my videos if you want to. So, I guess with that being said, I think we should get started with this movie in case of some of you guys who have not, seen this movie. I definitely have to say, when I first watched this movie, it was already pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna really like it. I'm not gonna really say much, but I don't know why I say I'm not really gonna like it. I guess it's the fact that I'm not gonna say much about that, but I will say there is some few flaws about the movie, but despite that, it's still a pretty good movie. I don't know why I said I'm not gonna like it, but I guess that's just me because I'm kind of waking up at the moment. I just woke up as I'm recording this, so I'm a bit tired. So basically, the plot of it is Gonzo's species has always been a mystery, but after having a lot of dreams of being denied entry to Noah's Ark, he just begins to realize how alone he was in the world. So Gonzo tells Kermit that he's getting tired of being referred to as whatever. After an alien species appears to be trying to send a message through his bowl of alphabet cereal, Gonzo realizes that he may not be alone after all. And that evening, he climbs to the top of the roof of the Muppet boarding house to watch the sky when suddenly he gets struck by a bolt of lightning, which allows him to communicate with a pair of comestible knowledge fish, who reveals his origins to as an alien from outer space. So, hoping to contact aliens, Gonzo makes an improv appearance on television studio for UFO Mania during a live broadcast, where Miss Piggy is working. However, concerned about Gonzo's behavior, Kermit and Rizzo go down to the studio, unable to convince his friend of his aliens' existences. Gonzo is then lured by Agent Barker to K. Egger Singer of Covenet, which is a secret national security facility disguised by a cement factory whose mission is to investigate the trace of extraterrestrial attacks. Singer is aware of these aliens' attempt to communicate with Earth and having seen Gonzo on television, believes that he is the key to receiving this superior General Luft and his aliens exist. So Gonzo and Rizzo then take the CoveNet, where Hulk Hogan, who pretty much is who is working there as an agent, flushes Rizzo down a tube at the facility's rat medical research, led by Dr. Truck Tucker, alongside with the Muppet Rats. Unable to get answers from Gonzo about the aliens, Singer decides to have Gonzo's brain surgically removed, and that has him taken to a holding cell. Meanwhile, after Miss Piggy interrogates Barker, she, Kermit, Fozzie, Pepe, and even Animal go to rescue Gonzo and Rizzo from CoveNet using various inventions from Bunsen, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, and Beaker. So while Gonzo is in his cell, an alien changeling through his voice through sandwiches asks him where the alien ship can land, and Gonzo suggests a beach near the name of Cape Doom, unaware that Singer's assistant, Agent Rento, Bobo the Bear, is listening. So Gonzo has been taken to the surgery room, and the Muppets arrive to rescue Gonzo and Rizzo. Well, meanwhile, Rizzo escapes from the medical research and frees Gonzo from the dissection table, while Singer and Luft witness the other rats attacking the surgeon, Dr. Phil Van Noter. Luft then feels that this time has been wasted and angrily leaves upon discovering the Rento and Gonzo heading for the Cape Doom. So Singer then prepares the subanautic neutral destabilizer weapon to use on the aliens, while Singer and Rento then headed for the Cape Doom. So the Muppets rescue Gonzo from the facility later on, and then they end up arriving at Cape Doom, where a crowd of alien believers await for their arrival. After a long hour wait, the ship then comes to Earth, and the aliens, who were all resemble Gonzo, explain that many years ago they lost him and now they welcome him back. Singer then shows up and tries to kill the aliens, ultimately failing to do so, and Rento having to be removed upon the weapon's battery is also laughed at. Gonzo then considers going to his long lost family to their home planet, but chooses to stay on Earth with the Muppets with his family's blessing. So Singer is invited to buy with the aliens to go with them and leave as the Earth's ambassador. So later on that night, Gonzo and the other Muppets watch the stars from the boarding house roof, and that's how the movie ends. Wow, this is I really gotta say is a pretty well made story. I really do like the plot line of this movie. I really like it's got science fiction themed in this movie involving Muppets. It involves, them going to outer space. And I mean, there's some, you know, stuff that ends up being there, like some sci-fi stuff, which is awesome because I was expecting Muppets to do something with sci-fi related stuff. But when I watched this movie when I was younger, I was like, holy hell. I mean, I haven't watched this movie in ages. I mean, I was a kid when I watched it, but I mean, we got really cool characters doing crazy stuff. The Muppets are back. It's just flat out amazing. I do personally really like the characters, and I do like the fact that, it has a plotline of Gonzo wanting to know where he came from because he doesn't know what species he is. So I have a feeling he's just an alien, which is most likely the case because everyone always questioned what is Gonzo? Like, is he like an alien? What kind of animal is he? A lot of people have been asking that so many times. So that is kind of why I ended up, deciding to watch this movie. And that's why, you know, Gonzo goes to see if he could find out what kind of species he's in. While I can certainly say that this movie has pretty good concept as well as, the movie ends up being flat out awesome, I definitely gotta say that the film itself was actually quite nice, especially for a late 90s movie. So, most of all the Muppet concepts that I do know, Did not, but of course, one of them they used was pretty much outstanding. So, I mean, after Muppet Treasure Island was released, I definitely gotta say it was pretty good. And I definitely have to really say that it was a pretty good movie. Although the other movies like Treasure Island and even Christmas Carol were pretty good. But I definitely really have to say, however, I know there is some, plots of this movie. I mean, you know, with the Muppets with an alien encounter theme is pretty much interesting. However, the story at some points were a bit confusing and very complicated with Gonzo being an alien life form that his friends were unaware about. I mean, that kind of makes it a little confusing in a sense. But I mean, the villain is bland after hunting him and wanting to kill him for the information. I mean, the villain's not bad, but he could have been better. I'm gonna definitely be honest. And, some of the new weak characters, including some of the Muppets we didn't see all the way from the gang, were stuck under one roof. But of course, I mean, some of the Muppets that we didn't see before were kind of not necessary to be added in. But at the same time, some of them did have a plot in it. So I mean, I really like the sci-fi theme for it, even though it was made for children. But this was a pretty good one. So, of course, with that being said and that being the case, I really do have to say that, Gonzo does have, some, form of, believability as to what he is. But when I first actually looked at this, I honestly really gotta say it's a pretty interesting concept for it. So when I watched this, I honestly really liked, the fact that it's sci-fi themed. And especially when I had it on VHS. I mean, some of the Muppets that were in there were not really necessary to add, but at the same time, mean, this movie's got flaws, I'll give it that. I mean, there's flaws with this movie, and I mean, a lot of every movie does have its flaws and weak points, but I still personally really thought it was really neat and well made. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was a great story. So, with that being said, and that being the case, I highly recommend you go check out this movie if you haven't. It's a pretty good movie, and I could tell you right now, you are not going to be disappointed because it's a pretty good movie. And I definitely have to say, this is a good movie from 1999. Although there are other Muppet movies that I have to say that were pretty good as well, like Muppets Take Manhattan and Muppet Christmas Carol. You get the drill, and you get the idea pretty much. So, I guess with that being the case, and with that being said, I'm gonna sit here and just say right now that this movie is pretty good. I mean, it does have flaws, but it's still a pretty good movie. I personally still enjoyed it, and I still think it's enjoyable. I highly recommend this movie for anybody who is, a fan of the movie and this movie, and I recommend anybody who wants to see this movie to go check it out. So, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I'm going to sit here and just say that this is just simply my own personal opinion. If you happen to disagree with me, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these movies. If you don't like this movie, I respect your opinion. If you don't like this movie, then I respect your opinion too. And I could definitely say right now that it's a de, that pretty good movie. And I always gonna say right now that this is just a pretty good Muppet movie. I highly recommend it for anybody who's, a Muppets fan, such as myself. So, anyways, with that being the case and with that being said, yeah. What did you guys personally think of this movie? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Because I'd like to personally think what you guys think. Because, I mean, I want to hear what your opinion on it thinks. So, anyways, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I'm going to sit here and say right now that, I'm the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to leave this video a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new, as well as ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. Also, if you want to check out my backup channel I got is also known as, well, Miss Dark Shigo. Be sure to go check that out. I know that one I have right now is like just over 600 subs. So if you can get my backup channel up to 700, that would be amazing. Let's try to make that as a goal. So for those of you who have access to, about my whole channel page, if you go to my about page, you will see I have a link link that evolves to my backup channel. So be sure to go subscribe to my backup channel if you haven't. I am going to try to be more consistent with uploads, but that's just literally when I have motivation to do so. So anyways, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Don't know when I'll be reviewing the 2011 Muppet movie as well as the Muppets Most Wanted. But if I find any other Muppet related films that I want to take a look at and review, I will be sure to do so. So anyways, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace out.